What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I am going to be testing out 3 different high protein dessert recipes. I'm always on a hunt for a good high protein dessert and there's so many recipes online. So I thought I would pick 3 of them and test them out and let you know what I think. If you should test them yourself or if they're not worth the try. I never say this in the beginning of my videos, but if you end up liking this, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And let's just get into the first recipe. The first recipe we're testing out is from Myprotein and it is chocolate coconut squares. So you want to start with the food processor and 135 grams of almonds, 100 grams of pitted dates, and I'm just going to mix that a bit first. Then you want to add 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder and 1 tablespoon of almond milk. Then I'm transferring that to a baking tin or just some sort of square container. I have lined it with parchment paper because it will be easier for me to get it up. This is a no-bake recipe, so you don't need a baking tin. You can just have a container. This looks right. This looks like the recipe, so that's good. When I looked at their video, this tin looked... If you can hear that, I'm so sorry. The neighbors upstairs are, of course, deciding to vacuum their apartment. They just started right now. When I looked at their video, it looked to be this size. Seeing it now, I do think that this tin is a bit too big. You know what? I think this is going to be a bit too thin, so I'm going to find a different container. Okay, I think I'm gonna have it in this instead. Okay, that was not really an easy task, but I managed to get it in there and fairly even, I think. Well, it's as even as I get it. Now I'm going to add the coconut layer, and for that I'm combining low-fat Greek yogurt with coconut. This is 200 grams of yogurt and 30 grams of coconut. And it also says to add in 2 scoops of whey protein powder with coconut flavor. I actually have a whey protein powder with coconut flavor, but there is also some chocolate in there. That's why the color is a bit brown. It doesn't say anything else than 2 scoops, and 2 scoops is typically 60 grams. So 60 grams of protein powder. Then I'm just adding that on top of the base. And now this needs to go in the freezer for 2 hours. The next recipe is from Flexible Dieting Lifestyle and it is for a protein cookie dough. So this is actually a fairly simple recipe, but I didn't have all of the ingredients. For the dry ingredients, he uses protein powder and something called cookie butter powder. I don't know what that is, but I looked at their ingredients and it's basically just a blend of whey and casein with some flavoring. I was thinking I have casein in cookie flavor, so I think that's the best alternative. So here I have 30 grams of vanilla whey, 20 grams of casein with cookie flavor, 15 grams of all-purpose flour, 10 grams of almond flour, and 5 grams of coconut flour, and 3 grams of erythritol. And you're just gonna have all the dry ingredients in a bowl. Then you just want to combine that. Then I'm adding the wet ingredients, and that is 100 grams of almond milk and 30 grams of sugar-free maple syrup. Okay, I really hope that this is thickening up because this is not a cookie dough I want to eat. This looks like pancake batter. It could also be due to the protein powder because I do have some whey powders that are much drier and almost seem thicker than other ones. And the one I used feels quite thin, so maybe that's why? I don't know. This doesn't look good. If you don't see the frustration in my face right now, just know that I had to make this cookie dough recipe 3 times. And still, I don't think it looks anything like the video that he had. So now I added 20 milliliters of milk and then the 30 grams of syrup, and still it's pretty sticky, but I don't think it could be less sticky because the syrup made it super sticky. But it says sugar-free, calorie-free maple syrup, so I don't know how he got it to look like that. But yeah, I'll put it in the fridge and it will cool and we will see how it turns out. For the final recipe, we are making brownies. This is a recipe from the Anabolic chef. So first up, he says to combine all the dry ingredients. That is 15 grams of whey. He doesn't say what type of flavor he uses, but his whey powder is light, so I'm just thinking it is probably vanilla. 15 grams of flour, 25 grams of cocoa, 10 grams of Splenda, 2.3 grams of baking powder, oddly specific. Combine all of those in a bowl and just whisk it together. Then you just set that aside and mix the wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, I'm going to have 1 egg, 46 grams of egg white, 60 grams of applesauce, and 30 grams of sugar-free syrup. Then I just whisk all of that together. Then it says to slowly add that into the dry ingredients. I have lined a baking tin and I will just have my batter in that. This will be an extremely thin brownie, I think. Also, this tin looks like the same size, but I do think that his brownies were really thin as well. I have preheated the oven for 175 Celsius, that's 350 Fahrenheit, and I will have it in there for about 12 minutes, but I will do like a toothpick test. So let's see how this goes. The brownies are done and they look amazing. Look at that. They actually smell really good. Okay, now I am finished with all 3 recipes. It's 10 hours later. I see now that everything I made is brown. Maybe you should grab the first thing I made.
Okay.
These are coconut squares, chocolate coconut squares. So
you know I love coconut.
yes.
Well, it's 3 layers to this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Got like big chunks of coconut,
Yeah.
which I like. It's kind of like a mousse in the middle,
Yeah,
with like a
yeah.
brownie bottom and a chocolate covering on top.
I do think that it would be better without the protein powder or with a better protein powder. The protein powder tastes a bit sour. Other than that, I think it was good. But yeah, I do think that this is like the highest calorie one because it has almond in the base.
Oh, right.
They were good.
I like that.
With a different protein powder, I think I would really like it.
Then you're going to have to make it again. Now.
But that is definitely the most complicated one because it needs to be in the freezer for 2 hours and then it needs to be in the freezer for 1 hour after the top layer. So next one, cookie dough.
Ooh.
Which you don't know, but I struggled with quite a lot.
Okay. It looks like, I think it looks like cookie dough though.
You can really taste the maple syrup.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's got maple in it. It's really nice and gooey though. Is there date in it?
No, it's the maple syrup.
Oh.
It's too sticky for a cookie dough.
Yeah, I mean a cookie dough is a bit more...
It's not this sticky. This is because of the syrup, because the minute I added 30 grams of syrup, it became really sticky and gooey.
Really?
It was okay, but I wouldn't make that again.
So far, out of those two, the first one's the best.
Next one is brownies.
Ooh.
They look like protein brownies. You can see that this is a protein.
Ooh, well they're quite light.
Yeah. It's like, it looks like a sponge cake. It doesn't look like a brownie, but
No.
it smells nice.
Do you know what it needs?
Vanilla ice cream.
I was going to say salt.
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't mind any vanilla ice cream. But the texture of it is really good. It's so light.
Let's see with some chunks of salt if that it's better.
It's better with salt. It kind of brings out the flavor.
Yeah, but still, it's like a sponge texture. It's not like a brownie. But I think this with some kind of sauce or low-calorie ice cream or something would be delicious. It's very typical low-calorie, high-protein bake.
Yeah.
And if you are sugar-free, I think this will taste so much more. And if a person is sugar-free and doesn't eat like sugar, I think this will taste so much more.
Yeah.
But because we had Oreos yesterday, I think it tastes a bit less.
No reason at all.
No. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
That was easy to make. It tastes okay. Would be better with some type of topping and salt.
First thing you get served was best. Then followed by the brownies, and then the
yeah. Yeah, I agree. Flavor-wise, that one is the best one. The coconut one.
I need to take another bite. Just
the coconut bars are a recipe from Myprotein.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah, they do something right. Okay, that was a good test. Okay, let me know if you have tested any of these out, or if you have any other high-protein dessert recipes that you want me to test or that you like and recommend. Let us know. And I realized that it's St. Patrick's Day today. So if you're celebrating, then happy St. Patrick's Day, and I'm sorry that we didn't make any of these green. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Okay. Ooh. Is it a food processor? Yeah. Yeah. So you want to start with the food processor, the wet ingredient. Then you want to add 1 tablespoon. Skärp dig. Then you want to add 1 tablespoon of